There have been quite a number of developments in the last few days in South Africa. Not that they have come out of nowhere. These things have been building over time. So a few days before the weekend, there was a notice that was sent out to the general public that there was going to be a national truck drivers strike, and that any trucks on the roads would be punished. And this was in order to show their disagreement with foreign drivers being hired to drive trucks in South Africa, and a couple of other issues. But this xenophobic stance has been gaining a lot of ground recently, and it's not new. Xenophobia has been a long time issue in South Africa. It's not just between black and white, it's between South Africans and Africans from other countries in Africa. So on Saturday night, I think 2 trucks were burnt. On Sunday, a few more were attacked and burnt. And there have been a number of other things that have happened. On Monday and Tuesday, we saw a lot of protesting and a lot of rioting. There were mobs running down the streets in Johannesburg and Pretoria and the central business districts, looting shops. People were killed. They were attacking foreign shop owners. They were saying that foreigners are bringing drugs into the country and selling drugs and stealing their jobs, and they're in the country illegally, and a lot of there's a lot of anger behind a lot of people at the moment. And I'm not going to go into all the reasons why, because everyone obviously has a valid reason that they're doing the things that they're doing in their own minds. And there are issues that need to be addressed, absolutely. However, forming a mob and stealing and burning and attacking is not a good solution. It's not going to solve anything. It's going to make more problems. We are now seeing a lot of the other African countries are cancelling events that have anything to do with South Africa. In Mozambique, they're burning cars with South African number plates. There's a friendly soccer match between Zambia and South Africa that's been cancelled. There was supposed to be a big global kind of union meeting happening in South Africa in the near future, and African leaders are pulling out left, right, and center. One of the things that citizens are quite frustrated about is that the political leaders are taking either one of 2 stances. The one is to say there's no problem, there's no emergency, there's no issues. For example, the reason that other African leaders are pulling out of the summit has got nothing to do with the recent attacks and the recent civil unrest and all of that. It's other reasons. So they're flat out denying that there's any kind of issue at all, just like how what has been done with farm murders, where the president said farm murders don't happen. And then the other position that has taken place is that people have been noticing that the president has been awfully quiet for the last few days and hasn't said what a lot of people feel is enough on the issues that are at boiling point at the moment. Now, I don't think that anything the president says is necessarily going to solve the issues unless he comes up with a solid plan, an actionable solid plan. It's not going to change anything. So the issues that we're facing here is we have a society where there is a vast degree of inequality. There are a lot of people who are struggling to get by every day. There are a lot of people who are living in very unpleasant conditions. There are a lot of people who can't find work, can't feed their families. who are watching their families disintegrate because of drug addiction or alcohol addiction. And not that this is different to anywhere else in the world. Maybe the one difference that could be said about here is how people have been responding to these issues. And again, I'm not saying that the anger is unjustified or that people shouldn't be angry. We should all be angry about the state of the world, the state of humanity. But we need to find practical solutions. We need to be building a way forward, not destroying everything around us. So, everyone has been saying, where is the government in this? Why are the police not acting? Why is nothing being done about all this stuff going on? It's complete anarchy. And on the one hand, we can't really expect average civilians to start going out in the street and trying to bring law and order. The risk of being hurt or killed is far too great for that. We can't necessarily here expect that the government will do anything. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Maybe if they do something, it will be effective. Maybe it won't. We don't know. There are a lot of things that we personally on individual levels cannot change without great risk to ourselves great risk to ourselves. But what we can do is stop this way of speaking that we've been developing, this way of saying, look at what all of those people are doing, it's outrageous. How could anyone do something like that? And they're behaving like monkeys, they're behaving like criminals, they're behaving like vagabonds. People are becoming very polarized in a lot of communication on a lot of different platforms, in person and on Facebook. A lot of the posts now are just about people saying, I've had enough, these criminals need to be dealt with, bring back the death penalty, do this, do that. It's all getting very antagonistic. It's all getting very conflictual. It's all very much focusing on everything that is wrong and on all the different ways that everyone wants to take revenge or who wants to punish or whatever. And all that dialogue creates is more of the same. All it creates is more violence, more hatred, more anger. What's that going to help? It's not going to make anything better. It's just going to make you more angry. Everyone's talking about how all of these other people are such terrible people. And there's no focus on who actually are they. What would it take for someone to behave that way, to act out their anger in that way? How can we change that in our society? How can we change that in our communities where people don't have to get angry about life because they're not living in this terrible position where they can't survive, they can't feed their families? Practice a little bit more understanding and a little less antagonism, and that might just change the whole narrative of everything. Imagine if everyone stopped talking in such with such a nature of blame and hatred and started talking about, okay, how can we solve this? How can we address these issues? How can I help? How can I be part of the solution? How can I change my behavior to contribute towards a better outcome? Is that not like plain, simple, and something that might actually have a positive outcome? Maybe, possibly. So look in the mirror, watch the words as you're speaking, watch what you're sharing. What are you contributing towards? What are you actually creating? What are you promoting? Thank you very much for watching. You're going to see me next time.